for those of you, this is
Hi.
our very special friend. Her name is Tara Nolan, and she is
Here.
going to be helping out a lot of you on
Oh,
relieving and getting past those mindset roadblocks. And we know that so many of us get stuck when we're thinking about too much stuff all at once and how to parse it out into sections and get things accomplished. And Tara has been, I'll call it a coach for many business owners for a long time. And her background is in the yoga philosophy, and she can go into that a little bit more than how I can speak. I can't speak so eloquently as she can about it, but I'm so glad that so many of you have joined us tonight because this is killer. And as you know, for those of you who participate in our Wednesday Sales Mastery Zoom rooms and our other Facebook Lives, the one thing that you guys are always asking is, how do I get over this? I have a fear of this. What am I going to do if they say this? And so there's a lot of things that you're putting in front of yourself to stop you from achieving your having the success that you truly want and that we want to have with you. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce Tara Nolan and let her take it away. Now, I also want to mention, as we always do in our Facebook Lives, and we will keep track of this for you, Tara, but there's typically a lot of questions that come in, and we'll make sure that we let you know what those questions are so you can address them. Sound good?
yes.
Okay,
Hi, Amy.
perfect.
Thank you so much for having me. My internet was a little unstable at first, so I switched to another while you were talking, so I couldn't even hear everything you said. So let me know if at any time you can't see or hear me, and I will try something else. And forgive me, I am traveling and the sun is setting, so it's really beautiful. I don't have my
It
normal.
looks perfect. It looks very pretty.
Good. Well, that is the beauty of being an entrepreneur, that you can take your business on the road. And I am here in South Carolina. I live in Wisconsin, where it's snowy and cold right now. So this is the beauty of having a lifestyle of freedom. So I want to kick it off with that and say, those of you that are here are entrepreneurs, and you are a very small percentage of people in the world, because most people will not do what you do. They would not even attempt it. So what you are doing is pretty spectacular and amazing. You are typically within a 15% category in the United States of business owners. Um, so give yourself a pat on the back for even going this route and attempting it, because yes, it is hard work and it does take a lot of overcoming mindset and believing in yourself and knowing that you can do it. So I want to talk to you about how to make that a little easier for you today, as well as look at ways that you can scale not stop yourself from scaling your business. So whether you're at a state of creating and launching your business, or you're at a state of scaling to the next level, there's always what I like to call the inner villain that gets in the way. So what that is it's the little voice inside that tells you, no, you can't. Who do you think you are to do this? Maybe you're an imposter, or how do you think you could charge this much, right? So you'll always have that voice no matter what level you're at in your business, whether you are completely starting new or you're at 7-figure, going to 8-figure, wherever you're at, it still speaks to you, and it will hold you back. It literally will hold you back. That is your biggest demon, and it is a part of you. But when you start to recognize it and understand that maybe that this inner villain is there to protect you in some way, but you can let your higher self speak to it, you can rise above and not ignore it, because trying to ignore it will still just keep that demon around. It's like putting all of your mess in the closet, like it's still there and it's still going to bug you always, right? So you have to actually face that. So what I want to speak to you on and how to deal with that is really coming from a place of heart-centered business. Heart-centered business is when you look into what you are doing, what you're providing for your audience, for your clients, and really coming genuinely from a place of love. I think that sales and marketing is amazing and beautiful and gets our word out, but it gets a bad rap. Sometimes sales and marketing feels like it's coming from a place of like something's wrong with selling. Like selling can be greedy or taking money from someone, or just I don't like the sales and marketing part. I just want to do what I do. I just want to provide for people. So there's that part of your business where you provide whatever it is you provide, your service to others. But then there's the part of running the business, which some of us don't enjoy as much as entrepreneurs. It might be, paying taxes, doing the sales calls, doing the marketing, all of that. So sure, you work with others to get that done, but it's also really a matter of looking at whatever business you're in, what problem do your clients have and what solution do you provide? So every single business is built on problem solution. So your clients have a problem, you have a solution, there's a solution, and you help contribute to that solution. That little crying in the background is literally just a French bulldog that I'm going to open the door for. So this is part of going live in life, and I want to stop her.
I was going to say that. I was going to say, let him out.
Yeah, so she's here with me on this beautiful balcony, and I should show you guys where I'm at because it's really spectacular and it's worth sharing. Can you see this? Kind of like the sun is setting and there's a harbor. That's literally the Atlantic Ocean behind me, but I think the lighting is like preventing you from seeing all that blue ocean because the sun is pretty intense as it sets. So again,
yes, it's beautiful.
Could you see it? I don't know, but that is a beauty of this kind of work that we do. So tapping into that, you really want to help people, like why you do what you do and how you can help them. Like you need to actually do the work. It's doing the inner work, and it's doing the work of writing it down. I always suggest a journal. When you study great success stories in history, when you study great success stories in our country, when you study entrepreneurs, you will see that they actually regularly follow a protocol that we teach today, which is doing the inner work, which is literally looking within, taking the time for thinking time, not just doing time. And that requires getting it out of your head and onto paper. So you can look at why and how. Oh God, this dog. Why? This is live. Why and how? Not my child's here too, by the way. I have a 5.5-year-old that's like all settled in, the puppy.
This is perfect. I love it. This is how we roll. Yeah. Everybody understands.
It's the real deal. So I need to take that away. So it's distracting to me. I really apologize.
That's okay, because my 6-year-old, my 3-year-old, and my 1-year-old will probably come in and start having a tantrum, and my dogs will start going too. So I think all of us certainly here understand that, and that is one of the great things about being an entrepreneur, that you can do all this surrounded by your family, wherever you want to in the world as well.
Yeah, and I think it's really a beautiful part of COVID that people are starting to understand, like, yes, you're working from home with your child, with your animals, with whatever, this is how we work now. Like, we have our family around us. And I think that's a really beautiful thing.
Yeah.
So I will get back to that. The beauty of serving others, being in business is really serving others. And you can't serve others if you don't reach them with your message, right? So that's marketing. You can't help them if you're not visible, if you're not sharing, if you're not putting yourself out there. You can't help them if you don't get them to take that step forward and spend more money to co-create an experience that both of you want. That's what sales is. It's co-creating an experience that two people want. And when people spend more money, by the way, they tend to be more all in and have better results in whatever you're doing. They value it more. Money is simply an exchange of energy, and it attaches value to that which we are buying, whether it's a product or service. So how valuable is it?
I love that.
How valuable is your product or service, right? I know when I go shopping, I'm for clothes, or now there's a helicopter above me. I mean, this is just phenomenal. Like literally, I don't know, you can't see it. So how valuable is what you have to offer? Is it changing someone's life? Like really let that sink in. Is it changing someone's life in some way? How do you help better their life, and what is that worth? And what happens if you don't help them? Then what happens to their life, to their business? to their relationships, because it's all interconnected. Everything impacts every other area of our life. So when you look at providing marketing for people, when you look at providing services, you look at it's empowerment. You're empowering them to have the business and life that they really dream of. You're empowering them to let their dreams come true. So attaching the correct price tag to that is what will help people to value you and look that they're going to the right person. So that can be something that stands in your way. I've seen that many times, and money blocks tend to go with that. And I've coached literally hundreds to almost thousands of clients at this point. And I do often hear, no, not that much. Like, I'll be like, let's set your goals for this year. Like, what are your income goals? And people will say, no, not that much. And it's funny, like, what is scary about that much money? You know, so I could actually do a quick exercise with you right now, those of you watching, and you could just think of your income goal. Think of your income goal this moment, maybe write it down. It's really powerful. Achieving your goals increases by 42% when you write it down. I don't know why they get that exact number. These statistics always crack me up, but apparently that's the number, 42%. So why not write it down and give yourself a 42% increased opportunity, right? So write down how much your goal is for 2021. Notice how your body feels. Maybe you're excited, maybe you're calm, maybe you're nervous, but notice how it feels in the body in different areas. And now add a zero. Add a zero.
Ooh, I like that.
And now notice how that feels. Where do you start to feel in your body? And where you start to feel it is where you might have blocks coming up. No, not that much. If you still don't feel it, add another zero. And notice what it is around that, right? So what is it around money and charging for what you provide that helps others, that creates some dis-ease, which can lead to disease. So you want to clear that. And what just makes us uncomfortable or uneasy or nervous, like in the body, right? Like, am I really worthy of that? Can I really do that? You know, and what is that fear all about? Like, I guarantee you can't if you don't think you can, right? I think it was Henry Ford who says, whether you think you can or you can't, you're right.
Absolutely. I think you are hitting the nail on the head, and we've gotten some comments here. We are all human from Juliana, and Temi is loving it. And Temi also said that we help even on creating new jobs. And exactly. And Temi is somebody that Temi is like our pet project, right? Temi is like somebody that I'm like, Temi, I'm going to give you your assignment for the week. Go out and do this, and let's move the ball a little bit forward for you. Because I feel that the people who are watching tonight, and I can see you guys have these mental blocks that no matter what I say, it's still not going to clear that inner workings of what Tara's talking about here. It's not going to clear that away, because from a teaching standpoint, Tara knows the methodologies of what to do to get you past those roadblocks. But I think you're nailing it, Tara. For the people that are watching, how do we get past those? And you even said the imposter syndrome. People say that all of the time. Oh, yeah. If I'm starting out, I feel like an imposter. And there's another question here from Jack, and Jack says, and we've talked about this a little bit, Jack, but basically he is going through our program, and he's creating proposals that the people now are excited about it. But now this is where it always comes. Can I talk to people that you've already worked with? Where can I see your referrals? Can I see all of this other kind of stuff? Now, for me, I say, I'm not going to go and bother my current clients you can go research me all over the internet, go see what people say about me, go see if there's any negative anything, but I'm not going to upset people that I already am working with for you to give them a call, and I wouldn't do that for you when you come on as a client. Now, I do have to say this, when I first started, however, I'm just like, oh yeah, sure, sure. And then I'd get off the phone and I'm like, crap, now what do I do? I'm just starting. I don't have any people that I can refer to or have examples of or anything like that. So I think that's sort of where Jock is right now. So how would you recommend helping get past that inferiority? Like, oh no, I'm brand new. Now what do I do?
Well, I want to speak to the testimonials aspect of it and what you do in that situation when people are asking you. And I also want to speak to just feeling like I'm new. Am I ready to charge this much? And how do I step into this when I've never done it before and I've never had experience? So it's like your inner villain will say, who do I think I am to, leave my other career or go full force into this or, start doing this? I've never even done it. I don't have any degrees. Like I hear, that kind of story all the time. So I'm going to say very clearly to Jock and anyone else watching, how do you get experience? How do you think anyone gets experience? And I think, the answer is by doing. So doing brings confidence. Doing breeds confidence. And doing also, by the way, breeds clarity. So when you're a little unclear about how this is all going to work and what direction, what you want your programs to look like, what you're selling, the only way to truly get clear for you is to start doing it. Yes, you can have Amy, have mentors, have guidance from those who have walked that path before. That's certainly going to take you much further, much faster. And that's extremely beneficial, if not, imperative to your success. But you also need to just start doing it. Now, when people come and ask you for testimonials, first of all, I wonder if you have ever done this kind of work before in some capacity. If you've ever helped friends with marketing, if you've ever done your own kind of marketing, if you've ever helped anyone, you don't have to have a paying client right now to have done this kind of work or something with this skill set before. So you could have written out testimonials, 1 or 2 sentences, maybe even speaking to the authentic person that you are. So you want to stay in authenticity and in integrity. Of course, you don't want to pretend someone is something they're not. So, but you can still have someone speak to how genuine you are, how, hardworking, how you get the job done, how you're a person they can trust. There can be something that are testimonials people can have for you that are, so when you're starting, maybe just a few, 1, 2, 3, 5, written short testimonials from something you've done in the past.
Oh, that's a really good point. You just brought up something that I did when I first started, because I didn't have testimonials. I didn't have previous clients. However, we all have some type of a history in a workforce in some
Yep.
form or fashion. So what I would do is, well, first of all, to be transparent and be honest and tell them, I'm, truthfully, I'm new to this. I just went through the training or whatever you want to say. But you're absolutely right, Tara, because I would tell them what I did in my previous jobs and how I'm utilizing that and why I wanted this so badly to move forward, because I never had the answers at these previous jobs. So really good point there. You just brought that.
I think it's imperative to hold that confidence. And even if you don't have it yet, you fake it till you make it, right? So hold the confidence behind you and show up that way. So show up as you want to be. So you let them know. And that's exactly why you're getting this price point right now, because this price point will not continue. This is because you are one of my newer clients and starting and kicking this off. However, I've had experience. I work with mentors. I've done this. You are in very good hands and you will get results. And you're paying a little bit less because of it. And when you come back to me in 6 months or a year, if you would wait and you don't sign up with me now, the prices will not be this low and you will be able to see the testimonials. Instead, you could be one of those testimonials. So why don't you hop on board today and, let's give this a try.
That is such a good point. I love that. We've got a lot more comments. Alistair, do you want to take some of them?
Yeah, totally. So Jock was saying, so he's one of the people that does have testimonials, but he was kindly asking that question on behalf of others who don't. Temi was asking actually if you were on MTV. Amy has an MTV background and wonders if I think some people perhaps recognize your name or your face as well. So they're asking.
I've not been on MTV, but I'm very flattered that you think there's a chance.
There we go. There we go. So let's see. Temi's saying, a lot of what you're talking about is him. He doesn't have a degree. He doesn't have a great background. He doesn't have money. So I think, some of the stuff. In fact, he's also saying that you look like a famous country singer.
Thanks again. I will just respond to that not the country singer part besides thank you, but I like country music and I sing in my car, but that's it. But as far as the starting out and not having the testimonials, instead of having the clients go, instead of having prospects go to your clients, I really do recommend that you get some video testimonials. I mean, I know Amy does that and have interviews with people, and then they go to that, and that's where you send them. But tell me what else Temi said at the beginning, because there was something I wanted to respond to specific.
He's saying, so basically, you're really talking to him, and I'm just finding the comment again. He said, that's me, no degrees, no great background, no money.
Yeah, thank you. So there are so many people out there that have the degrees, that have multiple degrees, and won't have the heart and the trust, the genuine, the authenticity that Temi may have. And I don't know you, Temi, but you'll work for that. If you're driven to do this and you're almost fighting against like that, I don't have the degree, like I see so many certified coaches that don't do half the job as the coaches who are uncertified in my line of work. And it's so not about the certification, right? I mean, that's just like BS where someone has, gets a lot of money so we can say, this is what makes us integrity. What makes you a real deal is results. You give your clients results. That's what makes you the real deal, not a piece of paper. That's my opinion.
Yeah, no, it's really true. And Temi, like a number of people that are on here right now, is one of the people that shows up every week. He, takes action, does it, because there's so many people that listen to what we say, but not everybody is then doing something about it. And I think I think you're exactly right, and that's what some people I think are commenting on here and saying. And Temi is driven, as Juliana is pointing out about it, and how he's driving. And Temi's saying, I'm authentic and 100% honest on my work, and that's it. Exactly.
People know that. People will feel that. People will trust get them results, and that's all.
And I think that's true when you're talking to somebody, whether it's on Zoom, whether it's on the phone. They'll people aren't stupid. They'll start to realize where you are in your life as a person, and if you are someone who's just saying something, or if you will follow through on it. And they'll see by the other actions that you've taken in what you're doing, and through some of the programs that we teach, through the EQ questions that we ask, through the DVRs that we do, by the amount of work that you have to put in to do those when you're presenting those to people. They will absolutely see that you are driven, that you have taken the time to do the work as well.
I agree 100%, Alistair. And I just want to add one point to that. I think with the current times, it has never been more needed. I mean, with COVID, people, the entrepreneurs that are going to continue to rise, that are going to last, because the market gets over flooded in certain industries, right? But those that are going to really make it are those that have the integrity and the authenticity, and they're able to show up with vulnerability as well. So we know, if you've ever seen Brene Brown, there's courage and vulnerability. So I think Amy mentioned, you could say, I am new and I am starting out, and here's what I have to offer you. That's why I say keep the confidence behind it, but you're being vulnerable. People can see that and connect with you. Maybe they even want to say, yeah, this guy's starting out, he sounds like he knows his stuff. And that's who I want to work with.
And people want to work with people, with human beings. You just had your dog was barking, and you said that you've got your 5.5-year-old, I think, inside who is settled. I've got upstairs right now a 6-year-old, a 3-year-old, a 1-year-old. I've got a dog there, and they will all go off. Amy's got kids too, and dogs, and we can all absolutely relate, and it's no problem. And actually, the amount of confidence that I have these days now compared to previously, when my child would walk in while I'm on, an important phone call, from what it was, 6 months, a year ago, is different, because people are so used to it, and people are much more tolerant of that now as well. And but you connect with them as a human being now, and everyone just nods, and it's great. And now suddenly, oh, you have that issue too. Now we've suddenly bonded as well.
And when did we decide professionalism meant that we didn't have a life outside of this minute? Like when did the world take that turn that you can't have, God forbid, your kid makes a noise or your dog makes a noise? I mean, this is like, it's like, relax. We can do business and enjoy our life, you know, and rise higher and be successful and be real. Like, and I think the world is really waking up to that, which is what you're saying. And that's where I'm getting back to, like, the authenticity, integrity, vulnerability, being real with people, and coming from a place of heart where you want to help them. And that feels a lot different in the sales and marketing world, although it is 100% why you step into the sales and marketing, so you can help them, so you can get the right message to the right audience. I mean, right? That's all it is. And then know how to close them.
Yeah, I think that's really key. Kate's
I see a lot of people watching.
I got to show you again. Keep reading the comments while I see it. Can you see the sunset now? Maybe.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Look at that. I know Amy's heading south that way soon as well, so she'll be looking forward to that. Kate's saying her 4-year-old is on more calls than not. And the other point I want to bring up that Kate just made is she's talking about when we were going back to that experience part. She's saying, so we did some training, and I think, Kate, this is probably a bit more in some of our Client Crush course that you're commenting on than perhaps some of the stuff we've got here in this group. But we did some training on LinkedIn and building out the LinkedIn in all the different parts of that. And she's saying, what we're all saying here is very similar to what we talked about building out a profile on LinkedIn as well, in the experience section. Of that. You might not have experience now if you suddenly got into marketing about that, but you've got experience that you can turn around and be relevant in some way when you're building out that LinkedIn experience and that profile there. It's just the same there. Yeah.
I bet she has more experience than she realizes. Like, looking at skill set, looking at other areas, and what kind of, when you've ever helped anyone to get their message out, or to be who they really are, to get visible in some way. Like, there's always, and it goes so quick. Like, just start doing. In 3 months, in 6 months, in a year, all of a sudden you're gonna have experience.
Yeah. No,
well, that's what's really cool, is that a lot of people that are watching tonight are the doers. So thank you for joining us live tonight. I'm super proud that you guys took the time to carve out and join Tara tonight. But I can tell, for those of you that are sitting quiet, if you would please put a comment in there for Tara to answer. And in the interim, we can talk about something that's upcoming, that Tara has upcoming within the next week or so.
Great. And yes, and I just want to add in that comment, I just want to challenge you to really get real, get vulnerable with me, please. And what is holding you back? What's stopping you from achieving the dream goal? What is stopping you right now?
Put those in the comments, guys.
Let's address it. I'm here for you. This is just being here for you. So yes, if you want more, I have just a simple one-day event. It is December 10th. I have to think, I have a lot of events coming up, but there's and you can check it out at manifestmydreamlife.com. It is just one day, and it is a virtual, so we'd all be together on Zoom, literally conversing, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's a full day. You can also do a live Q&A section that evening after a break. So you could plan till 6 p.m. This is 10 to 4 or 10 to 6 Central Time. So I guess here Eastern would be 11 to 7. You could also be done at 5 Eastern Time, 4 Central. And that is going to be sharing with you my signature 4-step process that I use to help my clients really attain their dream business and life. And we go through what is standing in your way. We go through getting clarity on where you're going with that. I go through everything, and I have other people there as well sharing, and part of my team will be there. It's a really powerful one-day experience. So it's highly worth carving your time out, and I would love to have you join. It's actually on an early bird special right now. It's normally $197, and it's only $97 right now. So it's hopefully that's very affordable and very much worth your time. So I'd love for you to join us. Manifestmydreamlife.com. We can type it in the chat maybe.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop the link in there in just a second.
That'd be great.
And don't you have another one on December 3rd?
There's going to be a live summit as well that you can tune in. You could join my group, Soul Purpose Entrepreneurs and Life Lovers, and you'd be able to view that as well. Soul Purpose Entrepreneurs and Life Lovers. Yes.
Perfect. We're getting more comments. You're resonating with people, Tara, very much. Danielle says, hi, Tara. This is really great info. Smiley face. Juliana says, being a woman and asking for the sale, I struggle with closing the sale and asking for my value.
I'm here. I'm here for you, girl. I am sales mastery right here. This is what I did before coaching. I was in corporate America sales and sales management, and I'm just going to go ahead and celebrate this because we get worried as women or men, any of us, that we're like bragging or something. And really it's to celebrate our successes and let ourselves shine. So remember that even when you're speaking to prospective clients. So I was the #1 salesperson in my company for years running in every category of profitability size of business. I had one of the biggest business books they'd ever seen. And I was the highest salesperson in North America, like I said, for years running. So I'm your sales girl. I love sales. And the reason I love sales is because I love people and I love helping people. So as a woman, you said you are concerned about asking for the sale. Let me ask you, if you don't ask for the sale, how can you help them? Like, how can you help them to reach their goals if you don't call them forward and attach a value to it? So what I suggest when you're doing that hard part of the presentation or the conversation, sharing the price, is that you actually first share what you have to offer at a very high level, not like specifics of every little thing and what you're doing, like high level, this is what it includes, and ask them genuinely if that's what they're looking for. Because if it's not the price, right? You want to uncover every possible objective or concern in the sales, corporate sales world, we call them objections. I'm sorry, I said objective. The handling objections, or just, any concerns, anything standing in the way, anything that's holding them back, like, because it's often not about the money. So you want to try to handle that before you get to the money. So by that time, your prospective client is so excited about moving forward and working with you that they're asking you, what's the investment? How much does it cost? You say, here's the great part. And I don't know if you teach a certain way, Amy, but I just would say I really like to instill a sense of urgency. I think that's extremely important. So they either get a bonus with you for signing now, or they get a discount for signing now. But you want to add something in because you don't want people to think about it, because thinking about it means they're talking to everyone, they're getting everyone else's opinion, they're getting confused, they're unsure, all of their own insecurities sneak back up and they might not go ahead and buy. Plus they get distracted with other things, other companies, other salespeople, right? So you want the sense of urgency, like you're having the conversation now, be ready to close them on the spot. Don't back down, because you're backing down for them, right? You're allowing them to get in their own way and not take this step forward.
Really great advice. We've got some more comments and questions, if you don't mind. Ilias is asking, how would you parse out your day-to-day overwhelm to get to that high performance consistently?
Sure.
Regardless of the adversity.
Sure. So I just want to speak to overwhelm. I think a lot of people are feeling that right now. And so be kind to yourself with overwhelm, because there's homeschooling. There are holidays. There is like the end of this year. We just had an election. There's like so much happening in people's lives that it's a lot. So there is a feeling of overwhelm. But yet, having said that, and having said I hear you, and you're totally validated for feeling that way, I'm still going to call you forward and call your higher self, right? Call you to a higher level and say, we don't really believe in overwhelm as much as we believe in under planning. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, you want to look at how you can plan. The cutest thing happened the other day with my daughter, who I told you is 5.5. It was so perfect for what I teach my clients to do. And she did this on her own. So we're homeschooling because we're traveling. So we're homeschooling in-home learning, it's through the school. So I have these assignments, basically I'm supposed to get her to do it, right? So we weren't getting to them. We weren't doing very well. I mean, I'll just admit it. And that was starting to add a little stress to my life too. She went through and wrote out a routine for herself. So I empowered her to do this. So she wrote out her own routine each day and planned in her homework time. And as well as her playing with the dog time, her movie time, her breakfast time, everything else, her whole routine. And she doesn't even read and write yet. So she drew pictures of everything, which I thought was phenomenal. But that is literally what we do. What I would guide high achiever clients to do is carve out the planning time. What do you need to do? Right now, it's all in your mind and it makes you crazy, right? That's when you go to the journal. That's when you go to Google Drive and do like a mind dump. Like, write it all out. What do I have to do? What's overwhelming me? And then you can start to categorize it. You can start to plan it. You can start to delegate it, whatever your situation is. But you've got to get it out of your head and then get it planned. So it's all about the planning and organization. You have to get highly organized to be an entrepreneur. You really do. And it's going to, they say it's not your first $1 million that you make, that's the achievement. It's who you become along the way to making your million, right? So it's who you become and changing your habits, such as getting organized in your life. Maybe it's waking up a half hour earlier to just have time to literally sit, have your coffee or your tea. I suggest meditation, but thinking time, journaling time, having your day planner out, whatever it is that works for you and your routine, to literally just let the day come to you and let these ideas come to you, which will help you be better organized and more productive and effective throughout your day.
Isn't this awesome, you guys? I see the comments coming through and I feel that this is resonating with you a lot. I just want to remind you really quickly, Tara, what her specialty is she takes people who want to be entrepreneurs, who are too scared, who don't know, how we as marketers, when we're talking to business owners, they just say, just give me the plan. Just tell me what to do and give me the plan. She does this with business owners, new business owners who have an idea or who have always held on to something, I wish I could, and she gets them to have success and build their business. So it's not all along the lines of marketing or sales. It could be something along the lines of somebody created a service idea to help the elderly or something. But she takes them from having nothing other than an idea and moves them through the process to have that success and make sure that all of these steps are taken care of, so you don't have that fear or you don't feel like you lost something or still don't have something that you need to have to say, I achieved this, I can give this to you, and I can sell this to you. So I just want to share with you what she does with people. She doesn't take necessarily successful people, and I mean that she does that too, and then moves them up, because she actually works with people at times for an entire year. So it's really critical and really cool how she does this with people who just have always had that thing in the back of their head, I wish I could, and she takes it and goes, you can, right?
Yeah, and it's super awesome. And this masterclass she's got coming up is a steal. And I know Kate's just saying that she signed up. You won with manifestation, higher self, and all the other great info. But higher self, meditation, and journaling are speaking my language. If this is speaking your language, then if you are resonating with what she's saying here, then it's an absolute steal. I definitely recommend that you get on this masterclass, because you will get so much value. So if that is something that resonates with you, then head over to that link. We're not getting this isn't an affiliate link or anything like that. Just head over there, go sign up, because we honestly believe that there is a ton of value there. So please do head over there, particularly while this sale's on. I think it's like a Black Friday sale. I'm not sure how much longer it's going to be at this price. So I would definitely jump on there and go sign up if this is something that is resonating with you.
Yeah, I'd love to see you. We'll spend the day together. It's going to be really amazing. And it's for any part of your life. It's for your business. It's for your personal life. This 4-step process, it works. And I do help any high achievers to build their, soul calling business, but also to scale their, heart to, I call it soul driven success.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Go ahead.
Sorry,
you go ahead.
I want to jump back to Terry, who put a question or a sort of comment in here. What if they don't like my work? I'm not worth what I charge. So I guess there's a sort of a confidence piece here that we need to get to.
Is this gonna be better? Now at first it was so bright, now it's like dark. Okay. I'm trying to accommodate here if that's
Perfect.
helping. Okay, good. Feeling not worthy of what you're charging. I think that sometimes we have been wrongfully taught that it's like something that's hourly, right? That what hours you put in. And the problem with that is that you're not looking at efficiency. You're not rewarding yourself for efficiency. You're not looking at the result that you provide for someone else. So you can't get caught up on what you're even doing for someone. It's not about the hours you put in. It's not about what you're doing for someone. It's about what result you provide for them. If you help your clients to increase their profitability by increasing their number of clients, by increasing their overall revenues, like how is that impacting their life and what is it worth to them? You have to look at it from that perspective. Like, can you help your clients to make another $5,000, $10,000 a month? What is that worth to them? $20,000, I don't know, $50,000. What is that worth to them? And that's where you can really start to see your worthiness. It's not about you, right? When you make it about you, that's the ego. That's the ego driving you. So you got to take yourself out of the equation and look at the solution you provide. How I started this conversation. I said, every business is someone has a problem and there's a solution. And how can you help provide that solution? If you are providing the solution to their problem, what does that mean for them? It's not you. I'm sorry, anyone watching, it's not you. You are actually not that great that you can provide it all. That's where the ego is talking, right? You are a channel that is guided to do what you do. And when you step into that, you're just there as the channel providing it. You're providing this awesome, kick-ass, amazing solution that people really need, and you are called to do it. So trust that. The reason I know you're called to do it is because otherwise you wouldn't be here. You would not show up and even have this idea that you want to do it if you weren't literally called to do it. It's like I've had these conversations with Amy. She is lit up by marketing. She is so excited. She wants to figure it out. She wants to figure out all the funnels and all the ads, and she's lit up. I mean, I'm not lit up by that. So it's like, but I'm lit up by what I do, and you can tell that, I hope, because it's, I am. It makes my soul like on fire, right? And that's what it is when you step into your passion, like your soul's lit up. So that means that you are called to do it. That's how you know you're on the right path or that you're not. And that's how you can trust that. So it's not about you, it's you helping someone.
I think that's really important. And Terry's just commenting, oh my God, so glad I hopped on. And for those of people that are on here that know Terry, there's a few people piping up saying Terry has awesome skills, and I can't believe it's Terry saying this, but I think, I'm not sure, Terry, if you're asking for other people, because I know people are asking questions for other people here as well, and how they would resonate. But Terry's also at a stage in her business where she's already doing really well, but she's taking her business to the next level. And I think, I think when you do have certain leaps, certain jumps in your business as well, you can start to second guess yourself in what you're doing, as you're taking on more, as you're going to the next level, as you're increasing your prices again, as you're firing clients. And I know Terry a few times this year has fired clients who weren't up to the right estimation, and were holding her back as well. And I think as we hit all of those points, and Terry's commenting, asking for me, that I think a lot of this stuff comes out that at different levels in your business. As you move to those different levels, you have to reflect on those aspects. You do have some self-doubt, but for those of us that know Terry and the work she's doing, we also know that she's killing it as well.
Awesome, Terry.
Who else have we got here?
Right? You'll always have new inner villain. That's what I also said earlier. Like whether you are starting, whether you're scaling, even when you're killing it, as Alistair put it, which I love, you're killing it, but there's still more to go, and you still can get in your own way. And what is that all about? Like, what is the level? That's why I said add the zero. Like, what is that number that starts freaking you out and saying, no, that's enough for you. That's enough success. That's enough money. Like, you don't need it anymore. So what's that all about? Like, can we remove that and get that out of our way?
Yeah, and I think that's really important. And I know I just had a couple of private messages from people I know who have signed up as well for your masterclass coming up. So if you guys, if this is resonating with you, I know people keep asking questions, people keep saying, there's some awesome stuff here. So if this is resonating with you, then I urge you to just take a minute while we're on this live to dive off if you have to go and do it, because we all know what happens when this finishes and then you have to go and get a cup of tea or make dinner or open the wine, which is always important, or whatever, and then you never quite get around to it. So if that is something that is resonating with you, I mean, this is, and tell me if I'm wrong, but this is just the tip of the iceberg of the kind of stuff that they're going to get on this masterclass. So, and before the price goes up, because I think there's only a few more days left before that goes up. So if it's something for you, go ahead and do that. And Terry just piped in, hit the nail on the head. I've missed my next milestone by less than $1,000 for 3 months in a row. So it sounds like Terry's getting there. She's writing this stuff down, and she's just coming up this tiny bit short for the last 3 months. So Terry, let's make sure that doesn't happen again.
Yeah, and celebrate what you did achieve. I mean, celebrate. Step into that space of gratitude, and no one else is going to pat you on the back, so you need to give yourself that. Because remember, most people would not even attempt what you're doing. So by setting your goals, even if you get here, celebrate that instead of because it becomes scarcity mindset if you look at what you didn't make, right? And that can take you down with law of attraction, with what you're bringing in. So you want to look at what you did and find the celebration, and then you attract more of that into your life.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Keish has just come up with a question. Having an agency that earns 50K a month is easy in my head, but when I go in front of the client, talking, I literally can call the numbers. For example, I was on a call with a client whose budget was 5K. I couldn't get myself to charge him the 5K, even though I was providing a lot of value and about 4 different services. How do I get over that? Practice in the mirror? Question.
Isn't that funny? Like, what is that about? Like, he tells you, I want to pay 5K. And you're like, no, really, like, don't pay me that much. Like, that's basically what you're doing. Like, you're saying no for him. And I think it's important to bring the humor into that and saying, yeah, like, why would I do that? Like, he tells me 5K. Like, do you have something that's worthy of 5K? Like, I'd ask you that. And you ask yourself and you say, no, I'm giving him a smaller product. Well, can you create something that is that? Can you provide that much for him? And, be genuine and authentic. Don't don't sell a spoon for, $5,000. That's not worth a $5,000 spoon. But if you have a $5,000, something's going to impact his life in that way, he's literally asking you for it. He wants that kind of service. He wants that kind of value. That's why he set the budget aside for it. Right? So you're co-creating an experience that you both want. There's a really great book I'd recommend by Marianne Williamson called The Divine Law of Compensation. And that book can be really life-changing. I love Audible. I think getting the right messages into your brain every single day is part of your work and part of your workshop. So what are you surrounding yourself with? Like being on this right now, huge for you. Surround yourself with the right energy, the right people, other people making money, other people who are successful, getting in these masterminds, working with Amy and Alistair. I mean, that's excellent for you because you're around people that are encouraging you to do that. Also, that's all affecting your mindset. That's all affecting your energy level and helping raise your vibration to the point where you attract this. But you also need to be putting the right messages in. What time are you putting into what you're listening to and what you're reading?
Yeah,
all really great. Yeah.
So
Alistair, you and I.
I know. I'm sorry. There's just too many good comments that I want to respond to as well. I mean, Ilias is sending a wine emoji and saying cheers. I mean, I'm all over that, but it looks dark in South Carolina now, so you definitely need to pop that wine.
I think I do. Let me just see where I don't even know where the light is in here. All right, I'm just going to keep going.
Yeah, Temi, I have a prospect that said, if he gives me 10K, wants 20K back, I'm so going to charge at least 8K.
If he gives you 10K, yeah. Okay, right? I mean, I'm sorry, I was looking for the light a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not totally following, but I have a prospect said if he gives me 10K, wants 20K back, I'm still gonna charge
So
at
if
least
he
8K.
spends $1, he wants 2 back. That's very
Yeah,
achievable in marketing, incredibly
yeah,
achievable.
yeah, for sure, for sure.
Better.
And Tara, what I always tell everybody that watches us and takes our courses is when I find out what the budget is, like there are minimal times. First of all, I want to be real and I want to charge them what is the true cost. There's nothing that is truly inflated. If I go, oh, it's $10,000 and I would
No.
typically charge 5, I'm gonna blow it up to 10. I don't do
No,
that because I feel
no.
it's going to come back to me as karma and it's be negative.
No.
But
Being
what
a-
I do, yeah, but what I do share and teach people, especially on our sales mastery masterclass, is that if they give you a budget, like I don't have a problem pushing that budget a little bit. I have no problem doing that because typically people will hold back from you even what their budget is. That's typical. And again, it has to do with confidence. And you said something that triggered with me. And I'm trying to remember what the exact words were, but basically is celebrate your successes and the failures. What I deem as failures, I learn from them. Like a lot of people have a hard time. I'm an incredibly optimistic person that even if I feel that something got messed up or I screwed up in some way, I learn from it. But I'm still confident in going forward in what I'm doing, and I won't do that again. But I think there are a lot of people that have that hold on to these negatives back here, and they keep weighting them down and like, oh, I screwed up, so I'm not going to try it again. I'm done with that, and I just push forward. And I don't know why I have that mentality and others don't, but it's just always been who I am.
Well, some people have to learn it, and it's also how you grew up, and it's who you are. And there's so much. And what did people tell you when you were growing up? There's so much, and that gets into a whole thing of looking at inner child work, healing, and more. And it does take that healing to rise higher with success. But when I think I wanted to go back to that topic of charging, and if someone has a $5,000 budget, yeah, I'm certainly not saying, well, just charge them that. But if you had something that was 5,000, you're just scared to offer 5,000, that's different. So when you're looking at what to charge someone or what to sell someone, what to offer someone as with all of your programs, right? So maybe you have all different levels. You really think what would best serve my client? Like what would best serve them? What's going to help them the most? And then offer them that. And if they say that's not within my budget or I don't want that right now, then you can adjust and go somewhere from there. Second.
Absolutely. I know we're reaching the top of the hour at this point, Tara, and you've been nothing but a treat. And I know you've got your child and your dog, and we don't want to we don't want to take up more of your time. But
here, I'm really grateful to be here. Thank you for having me. And I truly hope that this was helpful for people watching. Please do stay in touch with me, join my group, Soul Purpose Entrepreneurs and Life Lovers, and join me for the day at manifestmydreamlife.com, because that's going to be really special.
Yeah, perfect. And we've dropped a bunch of links to sign up in the chat, but if people miss them, can't find them, reach out to us. We'll get that. I've got a Black Friday post running in the group, and I will add this in there as well, so that people can so they've got that info there as well.
Yeah, and Jock recommended some movies that have the right mindset that he recommends. So make sure that you do that. But I think with the amount of comments we got in the short time that we had, everybody truly appreciated you being here. And for those of you, because so many of you messaged me saying you weren't able to show up for this, I'm so excited for you to watch this replay. Make sure you watch it as soon as you can. And we'll bring Tara on again in the future, because I think this mindset shift will help so many people, like you've already said, in our private messages and on these comments. So appreciate every single one of you.
Yeah,
thank you. Tara, thank you so much.
Thank you, Tara, so much. Thanks, everybody. And this is our last live before Thanksgiving. So everybody, make sure you have a great Thanksgiving and stay safe and enjoy time with your families.
Yeah, so much to be thankful for. Bye.
All right.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.